Hello everyone, in this lecture we will learn few more PyTest functionalities like how to use markers, how to skip test and all. So in our last lecture, here we have seen how to execute only login related test or logout related test. Let's say we have 100 test cases, out of which we have identified 10 test cases as smoke test and we want to execute only those smoke test cases. So, how we will do it using PyTest? This is a very real time scenario. You can have a set of smoke test cases, a set of regression test cases, and you just want to execute those set of test cases, right? So, how you will do it through PyTest? So, in PyTest there is a concept as marker. So, markers in PyTest are used to label or categorize tests so we can control how and when those tests will run. If you are familiar with Cucumber framework, it is something similar to tag, or if you know TestNG framework, then it is something similar to the grouping concept. Okay, so let me show you how you can add markers. Okay, so here we have multiple test cases, right? So if we will go to our terminal and we will try to execute the test, here right now you can see we have total 10 test cases, right? So out of these 10 test cases in two different files, we will have some smoke test cases. Okay, so to mark few test cases as smoke, what we can do? So if we want to add this test as smoke test, then what we can do? We will just write @PyTest, okay, then dot mark, then dot smoke. Okay, so if you will notice here, this import PyTest happened because we are using this, right? If it is not imported for you, then you can just import it. Okay, so if you want to again mark this test as also smoke, so let me just copy and paste it here. Okay, so right now we have two test cases as smoke test. Okay, so let me execute these smoke test cases. So let me go to our terminal. So earlier we have seen we have total 10 test cases, right? Now we want to execute only smoke test. So what we will do? We will write PyTest, okay, then minus m, m stands for your marker, then what is your marker name? Smoke, okay, then you can give minus b. See, so total 2 test cases got executed because we have 2 smoke tests. So let's say in this file we want to add one more test as smoke. So we will just copy this and let's say for this test we will add it. Okay. So here you see the error, right? So we need to import this PyTest. So you can just write import PyTest. Okay. See, this error is gone now. Now we should have total 3 test cases. So again let's go to our terminal and what we will do? PyTest minus m smoke minus v. Now you see total we have 3 test cases now because all these 3 test cases are smoke test cases. Okay. Now let's understand one more thing. Let's say we have few tests which we are dependent on different systems or APIs and it takes more time to execute. So we do not want to execute it every time. We can run it when we want but not always. So in that case we can use slow marker. So here we were using marker as smoke, right? So in that case, right, when we do not want to execute the test which is taking more time again and again, we just want to execute on a need basis, in that case we can use marker as slow. Okay. So how we will do it? Let us say we want to do for this test, right, again the same thing @PyTest, okay, then dot mark dot slow. Okay. So this test case, let us say this test case is taking lot of time and we do not want to execute it in every execution, that is why we marked it as a slow and whenever we want we will execute it. Okay. So how we will execute it from our terminal? So again we will go to our terminal. So here we will write PyTest minus m, then here we will write slow. Okay. So as of now we have marked only one test case as slow, right. So let us see only one test case got executed because only one test case is slow test. If you want to mark more, maybe in the different file here, so let me add it, okay, and now let us execute. See, total 2 test cases got executed and these 2 tests are slow test. Okay. Similarly, if you want to exclude this slow test, what you can do? You can do PyTest minus m, then instead of slow, here you can write not slow, not slow. Okay. Now you see total 9 test cases got executed. Okay, sorry, 8 test cases got executed, 7 passed and 1 failed, 2 deselected. These deselected one are slow test. Okay, so this is how you can execute your slow test. Okay, or you can use marker as slow. Now let us see how to skip any test. So here you see we have one test case is getting failed, right? So we just want to skip this test. Okay, so how we will do it? So which test is failing? Maybe in this file, right? Okay, so this name, right? This test case is getting failed. So we want to just skip this test. Okay, so how we will do it? Simple, we will write @ PyTest, okay, then dot mark, okay, then skip. Okay, so this will skip your test. So let us see. So we will just run PyTest minus v. So it will execute all the tests, right? See, total 9 tests got executed. We have total 10 test cases, right? And 1 is skipped. So this is the one which got skipped, and you see nothing is failing, right? Because this failed one we skipped. If you want to just check it, let me just copy it and let me, instead of slow, let me add it as skip. So 2 tests will get skipped, right? So now 9 were passing, now 2 will skip and 8 will pass. See, 8 passed and 2 skipped. Okay. So this is how you can skip any test, okay, using PyTest. Now let us see one more thing. Let us say we have written a test, but we know that this test will fail because there is a known issue or that is not yet implemented, but we want that test to exist in the test suite, but that failure should not be visible in our test report. So how to do it? So we can use something like XFail. Okay. So let us say this test was failing, right? This one. Let me remove this skip from here. Okay. So for this test, it is already failing, right? Okay. Let me just execute and show you. So right now you see one test is getting failed because this one, right? This test is getting failed. Now we want this test should get executed but should not be reported. Okay. So what we will do for that? So again we will write @ PyTest dot mark dot XFail. Okay. So let us see. So again we will execute PyTest minus v. See, 9 passed and 1 XFailed, and that failure whatever failed, right, you are not seeing it now. You can also do one more thing. Here you can also give a reason why it is getting failed. Okay. Let us say region equal to bug id, let us say bug id 123. Okay. For this bug id it is failing. Okay. Let us see, we will execute it. Okay. So it will just help you to understand why you have given XFail, because it is failing for this bug id. Okay. You can also do one more thing. So you can write pytest.mark.xfail. Okay. You can give a region here. Also you can pass strict equal to true. Okay. So tomorrow if this bug got fixed and this test is passing, right, so in that case it will still get reported as a failure. So basically this is useful in CI to catch unexpected behavior. So let us say name equal to Ravi and here we are putting name equal to Gopal, right. So let me just put it like this. So basically the test will pass now. Okay. But here we are giving mark.xfl strict equal to true. So though everything is fine here, still the test will fail. Okay. Let me show you that. So let me execute. See, still the test got failed. Okay. Here you are seeing that, right, and why it is failed? Because of this xpath strict bug id 123. Okay. So you have to, once this is fixed, right, you have to just comment it out, or you have to remove this one, this XFail. Okay. So, for now let me just comment it out. Okay. Now, what will happen? When I commented it, this fail you should not see, right? Let me execute and show you. See, everything is passed. Okay. So, you understood what is the use of this mark.xfail and mark.xfail strict equal to true. Okay. So, let me just summarize what and all we learned till now. So, that is all for this lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.